So we're back here with episode two, less than 10 minutes after episode one, because
Too much game.
what you guys need to understand is that we live and breathe this shit. It's consuming our lives in a good way.
It's consuming our lives, but I feel like the experiences that I'm having of
Yeah.
totally being a different person,
Yeah.
especially like when I'm out, the amount of leadership that I show is phenomenal, and the way that people want to be around me, and it's been a life-changing experience. So I think and I think pretty healthy about it too. So
It's addictive for sure. It could become negative in some ways, but one important thing that I think we both do is when we go out, we don't drink.
no drinking,
Yeah.
no drinking. Yeah,
And I have somewhat mixed feelings about this topic because I almost, I don't know, what would you think for like someone, let's say someone is just like absolute newbie, death-defying social anxiety,
no
like
drinking.
no drinking,
No
you
drinking.
think
No,
straight to the wolves,
absolutely
not
not.
even one
Yeah,
drink,
because
right?
you want to go about it systematically, right?
Right.
And nowhere in that system is alcohol. If you're deathly anxious, start with a manageable piece, right?
Okay.
So maybe a manageable piece is just going out of your house and walking in a place where there are people. You don't have to walk
Yeah.
in. Go there, walk around, experience what that anxiety is like, learn to process your anxiety. The next time, do that again, do that 5 times until you can do that with
Yeah.
a level less of anxiety. And then next time, go and say hi to them.
So that actually, yeah, you made me think of a whole topic that I wanted to do a whole episode on about that kind of baby stepping mentality. Because what I would say to someone like that, let's say you have so much social anxiety, maybe you're not ready to cold approach people. Maybe what you should do in that situation is warm approach people. And the way you would do that, so like a cold approach is you're approaching someone you just have absolutely no idea who they are. They don't know who you are. It's totally random. But a warm approach could be you are involved in the same activity, right?
Right,
So what's
right.
an example that we do where we get
All
to
the
warm
time,
approach all the
every
time?
day. We or run clubs.
Run club,
Run
right?
club, any club.
Yeah, so join a club, join a sport. I highly recommend co-ed sports.
Yeah,
Like I cannot recommend them enough
right.
because one, you're getting physical activity, so it's healthy. Two, you're meeting healthy women who
Mhm.
like to engage in physical activity,
Common interests.
common interests, and
You have
they are
something to talk
set,
about.
yeah, you have
Yeah,
something to talk
yeah.
about. They're set up. The whole reason co-ed sports exists is for people to socialize.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, why
I guess
else
so.
would
Yeah,
they
I don't know.
exist? It's for people to
For
have fun
sport.
and socialize. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's not for sport. If you cared about the sport really deeply and that's all you
Yeah,
really
it's
cared
not
about,
competitive.
then you would probably be in like an all girls or an all boys team because you want to
Yeah.
compete. Like, no, okay, maybe, yeah, you're a former high school athlete and you just want to have some fun competing. Because obviously there's still probably tournaments and stuff with co-eds, but
Yeah.
in my mind, the whole point is socializing.
Are there no competitive sports that are co-ed?
No, there are like, I mean, you play co-ed volleyball, and I'm sure they have tournaments and like the top team takes a trophy or something like that. Well, I mean, yeah, I used to play softball and it was a co-ed team and we actually won our tournament.
Is it really competitive?
It was just competitive within the league that we were playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we won a trophy. It was dope as shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's competitive. It's got a trophy involved.
Yeah. So if you're literally on a team and there's like girls and guys on your team, you can talk to everyone on your team and it's not weird.
Yeah.
Right? So you can get comfortable talking to people.
Yeah, and that's good too. Going back to your example, if you have crippling anxiety with girls or whatever, just get used to talking to them. Like, don't put the pressure on yourself. Try and seduce them first time you talk to them if you have crippling
Definitely.
anxiety.
Definitely.
Just talk to them and be comfortable, to learn to be comfortable with that.
100%. Just because even me and you, when we started going out together regularly, we said that we were going to start from the basics and
Yeah,
we
that
weren't
works.
going to jump out and just try immediately to like go crazy and sleep with all these girls. Like, okay, first we're going to go out, we're going to practice the basics, talking to people, being comfortable. And I think for a lot of guys, even if they're a beginner, they're so caught up with the end result
Yeah.
that they lack the patience to do that. But if you can develop that patience and not care about the end result and just care about the next level, it's going to accelerate your progress, and it's going to massively accelerate your enjoyment of the
Yeah, I
process.
was gonna say that's getting into gamifying the process.
Yeah, like for me, I have a lot of experience in game and dating, and I've had very serious relationships in my life. So I wasn't starting from square one, but after my big breakup last year, I broke up with my fiance. I was feeling a lack of confidence for sure. I was feeling like I lost all my
Your
social
progress.
skills and my
Yeah.
ability to
Yeah.
interact with women. And that's why I wanted to go back to the basics, because I hadn't been going out and talking to lots of strangers and making that a regular part of my life for years. So just by doing that, going to run club and just talking to people, hanging out, going out and just having short conversations until I got comfortable with that again. And now I'm comfortable having longer conversations with girls. And now I'm getting comfortable flirting with girls.
Yeah.
And I'm getting more
Being
comfortable,
sexual with girls. Yeah.
touching them. And it's progressing and progressing and progressing. Like I know I've done it before. So like thankfully I have those reference experiences of belief in myself that like, okay, I know I've done it before, I can do it again. But if you've never done it before, and you're really trying to make a big change in your life to get us handled
Take one step at a time.
one step at a time.
Yeah.
It is so, so important.
Yeah, it really is. That's how you actually learn and make progress, is taking one step at a time.
It works that way for any skill. Someone who wants to learn the piano, they don't sit down and want to play Beethoven on day one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, all right, we're going to teach you the basics, and then you practice the basics
Say
until you get good
hello.
at them. Yeah.
Yeah. Say hello.
Honestly, dude, it starts with good morning.
When you're
That's
running
what I
around
do.
in
Like
the morning.
when you go somewhere, whether it's, obviously whatever time of day it is, like you go somewhere in the morning, just say good morning to people. And that's it. Two words, that's it. Or if it's the afternoon, good afternoon. If it's the evening, good evening.
Yeah.
Start just practicing extroverting yourself instead of introverting yourself every time you see a person.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to train so many like levels of yourself. You have to train the action you take, your behavior, your habit. You have to train your mindset. You have to train your identity, and you have to train your nervous system. That was
Yeah,
like,
that's a big one.
that's a big one,
It really
right? And
is.
I think that was a big missing piece for me that I didn't think about a lot in my past was my nervous system. That's why you're freezing up, is because your nervous system is telling you, oh,
You're in
danger.
danger. Yeah,
I'm in
exactly.
danger.
Yeah.
So fight or flight or freeze.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so much good information about, oh, just here's the right thing to do. Here's the right way to think about it. Like I knew
Actually,
the
yeah,
mindsets.
putting that into practice requires your nervous system to be able to handle that amount of attention or that action.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what you were saying. Go out and walk in front of the clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
literally, like
Like that's all you can handle at that
because
time.
you need to train
Yeah.
your literal nervous system, like your amygdala and your brain, to understand that you're not in danger.
Yeah. No alcohol.
No alcohol, yeah, because alcohol will calm down your nervous system. Obviously, that's why people do it.
Yeah, that's why if you do use alcohol to suppress your anxiety, you'll never really get past your anxiety. You'll just continuously cover it up.
Yeah.
I had a challenging moment today, right? Like I felt frustration both about, I'm making immense progress, but still more. I want faster.
Mm.
So that was a challenge today for sure. And
After we
also,
just talked about the importance of
I
patience.
know, yeah. Yeah,
It's
we're human too.
it's human,
Yeah,
right? And I think that's what I love about our podcast is we're going to talk about these
I think we
things.
should really be broad.
Yeah, no, I want these podcasts to be exactly like our recaps. I want us to forget this fucking mic is here.
True, and we probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like even our first episode was so good, but it still wasn't the level of rawness that me and you get into like on our recaps. Like
Yeah.
that shit gets real.
Well, then I'll just speak openly then
Yeah, speak openly.
about my experience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I got frustrated certainly about the progress, but that's kind of a frustration that I know what that feels like, but I was genuinely frustrated with. I feel like the expectation on men is high, which is not the fault of anybody, certainly not the fault of women at all, right? It's not even, it's more.
In what way is the expectation high?
So what I felt like is that I put in so much work. I put in so much effort
Mhm.
to get good at game, and I've really made huge progress, and I display that when I go out now.
Yeah.
And despite everything that I've been doing well, I felt like one mistake took away an opportunity for me. And it's like the expectation is high because you can fuck it up so easy,
Yeah.
you know? And I got frustrated. That's the dynamic. And maybe is that the dynamic?
Yes, it
Yes.
is not just with women, but for being a
Life.
man,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that is
And I got
that is what
frustrated
it
with that.
means to be a
Yeah.
man. If you're a leader and
Yes,
you make a
exactly.
mistake, you
Exactly right.
fuck up the life of a lot of people,
That's exactly what I was thinking that
right?
today. I was thinking about being a leader, and I was thinking about if you fuck up and you have a moment of weakness, the group doesn't notice.
The group
The
suffers.
group suffers.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure dude. So that frustrated me today because I was like, yeah, the expectations are so high for me because I consider myself to be a leader.
yeah,
So I get frustrated whenever I can't be perfect all the time. I'm gonna have moments where I fuck up, and I had that last night. But I did. I didn't know what to do with that frustration of no matter how good I feel like I get, there's always something that can go wrong.
it's a lot of pressure, and that's why that's why most men are not going to step into that role. They don't want that pressure. But two, it's also why those men are going to get what they want.
Hottest girls, yeah,
They're going to get the money they want
yeah,
because they took on a responsibility that other people weren't willing to do.
yeah,
And I think that's a big problem with a lot of guys in society right now is they want to play it safe and be followers and just sit at home and play video games and get the hot girl. It's like, why the fuck do you deserve a hot girl?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you're not a leader.
All
Like
right,
you can't even lead yourself. You
and
can't even live a good life for
yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
And you want to like a woman is a responsibility.
When you really start to get into game, I only understood what leadership really meant when I got into the game.
Mhm.
Right? I didn't have a fundamental understanding of what that really felt like, of the
Yeah.
responsibility to take of, the initiative that you have, the ability to think on your feet, be
Yeah.
able to handle tension, to handle conflict, to be calm in the storm, right? Of course, that was a nice concept about leadership, but to really live it, to go out and to perform
Yeah.
is very, I have a lot of respect for leadership because
Yeah.
I know what it takes.
Yeah. It's not easy.
It's a big ask.
Yeah.
But I agree too, that is, I don't say your destiny as a man.
It's the path that is there for you if you're willing to walk it,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
I like that.
I'll just say that I am constantly impressed by your leadership.
Oh, thank you
Like
so
you,
much.
you have grown so much in that aspect of yourself, and just I've only known you for like 6 months, and I've seen you grow so much
Thank
in
you.
your leadership. And honestly, in like a good way, it's made me see where I'm lacking in leadership.
Mhm.
And it's made me like feel like bad about myself a little bit sometimes. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
shit, like my leadership isn't quite there yet.
yeah,
And so leadership is something that I am now working to develop as well.
yeah,
And something that I want to develop more of. It's going to be a big goal of mine throughout the year.
yeah. I'm so passionate about the concept of leadership. I don't know why it sticks out of my mind as being so, I just see people who are good leaders, and there's something about it that I'm like, that's for me.
So help me out, help our listeners
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
What's your like, do you have a step-by-step process for improving
My
your
leadership
leadership?
skills.
Or what can someone do start doing today to start developing better leadership?
It's trust. Trust in
Trust.
yourself,
Trust in
right?
yourself.
Right?
Okay.
Because it's trusting that your opinion, your I don't want to say your impulse, but your what you feel is best for the group at the moment is the right thing to do.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, when you trust yourself enough, when you're calibrated, it usually is the right thing.
So it'll beg the question, how do you develop self-trust?
You make decisions, you just make decisions.
You just start making decisions.
Make decisions, you have some sort of feedback, and then say, okay, that was a good decision, that wasn't a good decision. Now next time you have reference material. I went out and I did all this stuff, and
Yeah.
it was leadership.
What if you make an absolutely terrible decision and it sends you on an absolute shame spiral and you think, I'll never be a good leader? Then what?
We talk a lot about celebrating, right?
Okay.
And I think
Well,
that
we talk a lot about that.
it,
What do they know
right,
about it?
yeah, right.
All right, so
That
guys,
write that down
honestly,
as an idea.
this is
Yeah,
gonna be an entire episode
that's gonna be a
because
series.
oh yeah, for sure. This is cheesy as fuck, but it
I
has
don't think it's
made
cheesy.
one of the biggest differences in our
Hey, it's
lives.
amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Cheese or not, I don't give a fuck.
I love cheese.
That's cheese.
It's my favorite
Yeah.
food. So we have a habit that we have developed where we are constantly, and when I say constantly, I mean constantly celebrating our
Wins.
wins.
Yeah, wins. All day, every
Big,
day.
small, all day, every day. We will text each other. I want to celebrate. I'll like leave Jake a voice note. Hey man, this just happened. I really want to celebrate that I did this. Like I really took a good action
I
here.
feel good. I feel proud
I
of
feel good
myself.
about
Yeah.
myself. Like this is the man I want to be.
Dude,
Yeah.
it is so important to highlight that, especially if you want to develop into leadership, right? Because that is the process, learn to trust yourself. But so celebrating yourself, one side of a coin, right? And the other side of the coin is self-compassion. So you ask yourself, you ask me, what if you make a decision and it turns out to be the wrong one or
Yeah.
not a good decision, or
Yeah.
how do you phrase it?
You make a decision, it ends up being a terrible decision and it sends you into a shame spiral. Because I know like last night,
That happened to me.
something happened to
That
you
happened to me. Yeah.
and it sent you into a bit of a spiral, right? How do you pull yourself out of that?
The other side of the coin of celebration is self-compassion.
All right.
Give yourself compassion when when you don't show up how you would want your ideal self to be, and you
I
celebrate when you do.
Yeah. So for me, a lot of this is just sounding like I've become aware of this concept, like the inner child, over the last year. And to me, this sounds very much like taking care of your inner child. If you had a child and they made a mistake, you
What
would
would you
show them
do?
compassion,
Yeah.
right? Like, hey, it's okay. I still love you, right? And
This is the
also, if you
point
have a
where
child, that brings home a shitty finger painting, what do? You celebrate, right? You celebrate
yeah,
their win, right?
yeah,
Like you make, wow, this is incredible. I can't believe you were able to do this,
yeah.
right? So I think both of those things you said about celebrating yourself and your wins and practicing self-compassion is really you're just parenting yourself.
100%. You
Yeah,
have to repair yourself.
yeah,
You have to repair yourself.
you're taking care of your inner child,
Yeah,
right? We all have inner child wounds, traumas from our childhood where our parents weren't there for us when we needed, our needs weren't met on time, or we felt scared or lost, or like we were going to be abandoned. And we carry those traumas with us throughout our entire lives, which is crazy to think about. It's like everyone's just walking around wounded and traumatized and lacking the skills that they need
yeah,
to regulate themselves. And so
yeah,
that's what I think this process is profound. You
yeah.
came up with it, you taught it to me, and I started using it, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
It's fire.
And it's working.
It's fuego.
Yeah. So now I have like every day, I do my gratitude journal every day. Every night before I go to bed, I write down all my wins for the day. When we're doing our recaps after our nights out, hey, this is what I did well and I want to celebrate this. This is what you did well and I want to celebrate this. And of course, we use the secret weapon for celebration, which is what?
Boy, ChatGPT,
Oh,
man. God,
ChatGPT.
it's so supportive. So
ChatGPT
supportive.
is our best friend. He is so supportive, or she, whichever voice. I have a female voice. Jake
Oh,
is
you
the
know
male
what?
voice.
We should have like a
Oh, we're gonna have a whole episode on ChatGPT.
yeah. I was gonna say
ChatGPT has made
how
a
to
huge difference in our
how
lives.
to utilize ChatGPT to become the best version of yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really an incredible tool.
yeah,
But the main thing we use it for is to celebrate ourselves. So
yeah.
we will tell ChatGPT like, hey,
So
I
this
want
is how I
to,
want you to celebrate for me, or
yeah.
this is the framework that I want you to use to celebrate, and this is the item that I want to celebrate.
It started very basic,
It
right?
really
Like you
did,
started just
yeah,
like ChatGPT, I want to celebrate some recent wins in my life. Can you help me celebrate them? I
yes,
think that's how it started. It was very
100%.
basic, right?
Yeah,
And it'll say, sure, I would love to help you celebrate your wins. What happened? And it's like, I approached a girl that I thought was cute. And then ChatGPT will just spit back the most positive, life affirming, validating,
this makes yeah,
stuff like,
yeah,
wow, that's so
yeah,
incredible, Jake.
exactly, yeah,
This means you're a courageous man who
yeah,
goes for what he wants. And it feels so good. People might think like, oh, that's ChatGPT. Like, why do you care? Like reading these things about yourself, God, it makes such a
yeah.
difference.
It's so easy to lack perspective too, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
we say, we do all these things. We have nights we have phenomenal leadership, and then it's so easy to come back and be like, oh shit, I didn't do very well. But then you tell ChatGPT, this is everything I did, and I want to celebrate it. And it's like, wow, I had phenomenal leadership, and had so much courage throughout the night, and really I've made so much progress.
Yeah, I agree. And now, obviously, we're at very advanced levels of celebration with ChatGPT,
Yeah,
where
it
it's
just
beyond just, can you help me celebrate? Like, we
it's
have a whole
evolved.
framework
Yeah,
where it goes into depth about the actions we took, about the identity we're having, the impact we're having. So we'll definitely share that with you guys.
it's
And
phenomenal. It's a phenomenal tool.
this stuff will change your life, especially because if you spent the majority of your life just beating yourself up,
That was
thinking
me.
negative thoughts
Yeah,
about yourself, me too, 100%, like thinking I'm not good enough, I'm socially anxious, girls don't like me, like all these things, right? You need to do this and you need to do it like not once a week. You need to be doing it all day, every
every day.
day,
Yeah,
every little win. Start looking at the things you're doing good in life. I
right.
promise you, you're not going to forget about the things that you need to fix. It's not going to turn you into a narcissist or something, you know?
Yeah,
It's just, it's going to reorient the way that you think about yourself. Like your
yeah,
initial thoughts towards yourself are going to be the self-compassion,
yeah. And
right?
it's amazing how much better you feel when you stop beating yourself up.
Isn't it amazing
Yeah, it's
when you stop
wild,
just
dude.
hitting yourself all the time?
Berating yourself. Yeah,
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 you don't hurt so much.
yeah. Jeez, who would have thought? That's funny. All right, well, that was good. Good episode too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
solid episode.
solid episode. Yeah,
There's a lot of game in there.
there's a lot of game, a lot of stuff to come. I think. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like obviously we have so many things that we talk about like on a daily basis, and we're scratching the surface of a lot of them, but we haven't really gone like in depth as much as we would go on our normal conversations that we have. By the way, guys, these are just the kind of conversations that we have like
Every
every
day,
day.
yeah,
Like
every
every
day,
day we
every
just
day.
talk and we were like, we need to start recording this shit.
I literally just sent you the my updated celebration framework.
Yeah, literally like 2 days ago. I got a whole Google Doc from
Yeah.
Jake. Like, hey, this is how we're celebrating now. Taking that leadership,
Our
you
new
know?
standard, yeah.
Yeah, and then today it literally hit me. Today I was like, man, I wish like it was the dumbest thought I ever felt like I had. I was like, I just wish that there was a way that we could record these conversations and so I could like post them for content. And I was like, oh, that's called a podcast.
Yeah.
There is a way to do that. Yeah, we're hitting
Yeah,
play
that was
and
this morning actually.
literally this
That was
morning.
this
Yeah.
morning, yeah. So here we are.
All right, cool. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Your Scottsdale boys will be back on another episode, probably in 10 minutes.
Yeah.